yet, because we've got to figure out how I can get it out the ground safely without damaging it. But I'm going to ask if they'll let us have it.
Bet the next week is someone will come and trash it.
I hope not. It's very difficult since we've got the barrier up now. People don't bother now. The place the word's got out now that it's been stripped. And,
there's nothing left.
So remember, the fence wasn't here. People like to get in this side, this end. This is badly damaged because of the amount of people going.
Yeah, it was always the corners, wasn't it? That I think was open.
Yeah, and so we've tried our best to tie it up, but it's ugly. It's horrible to look at. But if you notice, there's a wall here.
Yeah.
And that wall goes all the way around. Now remember, that fence wasn't there, so they did this to act as a bit of a barrier from the woodlands, and they also planted a privet hedge. This is what happens if for 25 years you don't cut your hedge. See the hedge?
Oh yeah.
Up here, all the way through there, that's not trees, that's the privet hedge. Okay, why is this here?
You're asking me a question now.
I'm asking you because
you've got to get my
been
brain
on
working now.
Quite a bit now. What do you know? So, why do you think this was here?
What, the trees?
No, why do you think they built this wall and this privet hedge just here and created this little bit?
Just in this bit?
Yeah. The clue is in the middle there, lying on its side, and it's white.
There's a pole.
Yes. And can you see the string attached to the pole?
Yeah.
That was the flagpole. But it didn't get taken, which is nice.
So that's...
I remember that standing in 2006, 2007.
I've never seen it before.
Because it's always undercover. That is the old flagpole. The flagpole always flew, they always flew the flag near the station headquarters. So this building here is the station headquarters. And as you get closer, you'll see the dirt around where the blue sign used to be. It says station headquarters. Let me show you a picture before we go in there of how it used to look.
Is that on Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same one I've seen.
I think
that.
I put it on the event page.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So can you see this? That's the sign. If you could go like that, which we can't, if you could go like that, that would say station headquarters in blue with white, it's plastic, with white trim around it and everything. It had the asbestos roof on it. Okay, now obviously it doesn't now. And look how well kept everything was.
I've seen a few pictures, it looked quite nice back in the day.
This is when the Americans were here, so this is in the 1980s. You can see it says the United States Air Force Contingency Hospital Headquarters, 603rd, doesn't it? The 603rd USAF Contingency Headquarters. They're standing on the bridge. There's the bridge. Can you see the blue ponds either side?
Yeah.
There's the blue ponds. These guys are standing on a metal rail. That's what's left of the metal rail. It goes all the way through
Yeah,
all
I can
the
see
posts,
it.
but
Yeah.
they've taken there's another bit there. That is the edge of the road. We've not uncovered all this road, only a part of it. Let's get in before it goes. Yeah. So, we've uncovered this bit of the road so we don't have to walk
Yeah, I've seen them
This
before.
bit is the little wall that used to be up on along edging the bridge. Okay.
Yeah.
And where the safe is, do you know where the safe is? Have you seen it in here?
The safe, so
There is a safe in here.
I probably remember when I first see it again.
I'll let you find it in one of the rooms, and in that room, if you look on the left-hand side on the wall, you will see an American electric socket that says 110 volts, and you'll also see a British one next to it. You don't often see that. Wherever you go, you don't often see that. Sorry, I'm not having lunch, I'm going to munch on it. So the open two buildings, they put the double glazing in. And I've learned there is no glass. You can't see on the floor.
And then,
Although there is some there. They're after the metal between the two. Apparently there's, I think it's copper or something between the two glazed. pieces of glass in double glazing.
Yeah, I think
Clear
so.
after the neck.
Oh. Wouldn't you like to restore any of these buildings then, or?
I've actually said to the owners, have you considered keeping one of the buildings as a museum, as part of the plan?
Even if it's
for
a
the
small
building?
bit.
And they go, yes, we have actually. That's something we thought of, you know. And I said, can I suggest the HQ building? I think this will be a brilliant building to be kept. So who knows? This
Are they
building-
genuine, like the owners really care about it then, or do they just want
They
it
care about
do want
putting
it
a
gone?
proper plan in.
there's
Well,
lot-
they would like to see the back of it now because of all the grief that they've been getting. That's an original thing.
Yeah.
It was cased in brick. I have no clue what it is, but that was for that. That was built around that. You can see all the evidence that's left. It's reinforced as well. It's like a reinforced table. We wonder if a safe was put
On top of it, yeah.
But that's not just something that's been dumped there. That was meant to be there. So it's an original kind of.
Something else for you to keep?
I need to find out actually what was there. I do wonder if that was the post room on that side.
There's stuff we've missed in the past.
There is. It's just some of the small bits you
But when
don't.
you get taken around by somebody who knows the history and knows everything and learns a lot of stuff from people who work here, then it's interesting. Shine a torch on here.
Oh yeah.
That is under the paint.
The drawing or
Because
something.
I've peeled a bit of this paint away, right? That is under the paint. So somebody has drawn that many years ago. I don't know if that was done during the war. There's a picture of a woman up here. That I don't know if that's original. That's just people breaking onto the site. But that one, because it's under the paint, that looks like it's been there a while, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
What? Trying to make out what is it? Or some
don't
sort of
know.
house or something.
Where's this woman?
She's here.
She's there.
Oh, she's there.
She's even got a bit of breast out for you.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm not sure if that's maybe one of the soldiers from the wartime. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is revealing itself as the paint's coming away. So during the war, because these were the buildings for the hospital, they would have been slept in, hospital beds in them, they would have performed operations in them. These were the buildings. And so we've just got the 8 that are left, and over time they've used them for various
This
things,
would
like
be good as a
churches.
museum.
Yeah, it would be as well. I mean, they might. I don't know what they're going to do with the Nissan house. Do you know why it's called Nissan? Huh?
No.
Found out recently.
Go on then.
They were invented during the First World War by a gentleman whose last name is Nissan. So it was named after the person who invented them. And the reason why they're shaped like this, one of the reasons, well, for a start, they're easy to go up, aren't they? Easy to construct. They withstand all types of weather. You know, this kind of dome withstands hurricanes and things like that, doesn't it? And also, from the air, see from above, but if it's like this, it's a lot harder to see. So it's a way of camouflaging a building. Yeah. And this one's been altered over time. Can you see that the door would have been just like, they would have been brick down here, there would have been another window here, but they've obviously wanted to widen it for whatever purpose that they were using it for.
And there's one window still in.
Yeah, still intact.
Yes.
Love it. Intact. Slight damage, but not, you know, there is.
It would last another 100 years, won't it?
If it had been the steel.
It would.
Yeah.
It would.
If it had been steel, you get the steel ones.
Yeah.
Rusted out by now.
Yeah, they would.
But that's 76
And
years old.
it doesn't leak.
Right. It's a good one.
It is. There aren't any tunnels about like that, is there here?
No,
No.
there's no bunkers or anything like that here. It's a hospital,
Yeah.
so I guess they never really had the need for them. This corner is the MT section, which is motor transport.
Right.
So all this, it's hard to imagine now, but all this would have been the hard road, you know, around here. Can you see the ramp?
Not
It goes
quite.
up. Just look, straight down, straight, and it goes up.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah. Behind
That's
them
a loading
trees.
ramp.
Yeah.
So there's your giveaway.
Yeah.
So the fire engine was kept here, which is now in a museum. The fire engine they had here is now in a museum.
What a
So-
local museum then?
What in a museum in Lincolnshire,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. They would have had a filling station here for filling up the vehicles. They would have maintained them here and kept them here.
That's cool.
So this is where all the vehicles were kept on the site. So this building here, now the leaves are going, you can see more of it. This is what is left of the NAFI. The NAFI is the shop, isn't it? It means Navy, Army, Air Force Institute. That's what NAFI stands for. And it's the NAFI that runs the clubhouse. So the NAFI stands here, and then the end building is the Winged Serpent Club. That's what they called the Airmen's Clubhouse on this hospital. This is the shop part. Flat roof, lots of wood. It's just gone. This section was the stores. That's where they stored all the big cans of beans that they would take over to the hospital. That was the stores, and behind that you've got accommodation for the people that worked in the NAFI. So I had a gentleman on the tour. He was here from 1979 to 1985, I think he said. So he was here when the Americans were first here.
Yeah.
And he worked in the NAFI, and that's where his accommodation was. And he said between this building and the back end of the club, he used to park his car.
Oh yeah.
So he used to drive his car just down here, you know, through there.
Does he not have any pictures about them from when he was here?
No, but he did go back there, and I don't normally let people go back there, but because he lived there, I couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
So he went round there, and he went in. He goes, "This was the bedroom," and he goes, "But because nobody was in the room next." Here, storing the alcohol because they've got a bar in there and everything. So that's really all that side of it. The more interesting side is this side, because this is where the function rooms are.
Right.
Remember, no fence, no gate. That was the married quarters. So all those houses there, Peter Sowerby's been infilling. So he's a local developer, and he's been building houses, infilling on the land and everything. But what you're looking at there, that row of four, and all the ones through there, they're the old married quarters. And they sold them off in the late 80s, early 90s. And it goes all the way around behind here and behind there. So there's loads of houses. The officers' houses were over that end, the big detached ones, 4 bedrooms. These are the 3 2-bedroomed terrace, and the flats, and some with 3-bedroom semis and all that kind of stuff. So, children, pocket money, Saturday morning, running down here to the NAFI to get the sweeties, okay? Now, I've got a picture. Taken in the front here. See the sign?
All right.
Winged Serpent Club. Yes. Metal framed blue windows, single paned. That's on that side. This is the prefab side on that side. There is asbestos in the walls on the outside, I've been told. So these have asbestos in them. Slight damage, so we always say stay away from the edges. When you see damage like that, you just stay away from the edges and you're alright. You're not going to be crunching over asbestos. This is a local family that lived in the village, actually, having some kind of a function here. They called it the Winged Serpent Club because they had a school of nursing here. So many nurses were trained here. The houses. predominantly female camp. So the lads from Waddington and Scampton used to come over here
I bet they did.
to the dances at the clubhouse because there's loads of girls, like easy pickings. If you were a man posted here, they'll grab you up to be in the cricket team and the rugby team and the football team that they played against all the other hospitals, you know, type thing. So we're going to go in here. So they called it the Winged Serpent Club because on the badge, snooker room, TV room was the room next to it. But this was the days when there was only 3 channels.
Right.
Bit boring, this television. So I have been told that in that room, that TV room, more than just watching television,
I bet it did, yeah.
there will be a knock on the door. I'll be coming in 5 minutes. Make yourself decent. So these are squadron stickers left over from that game that they still do today, apparently. This would have been what they would have called probably the Pigs Bar. See those stickers?
Oh, yeah.
You know what they are? Most of those stickers are squadron stickers.
Yeah.
From a game that they play called Zapping.
Zapping. Never heard of it.
So the Air Force still do it today. If you just play cricket. So say you've come from, I don't know, another Air Force camp, right? And you've gone and played cricket against Nocton. So you go to the clubhouse afterwards, get a beer.
It says flammable liquid and there's a thing down there.
Um,
So much planned, I can sense it.
And the game is, if you're visiting, when you go to the clubhouse, you've got to get one of your squadron stickers up in the clubhouse without being seen. So if you do it, they say you'll be exact. So these are squadron stickers left over from that game. And that they still do today, apparently. So this is the main bar. So you've got the main bar. There would have been tables and chairs in this end. Okay. In this middle section, on the other side of the screen, there would be comfy chairs. And then the last section was the dance floor. So many a handbag was danced around.
Many a handbag.
But I like to look up when I go down there. Because if you look up, you see the bones of the building. You see the underside of the asbestos roof. So when you go to that end, look up. And it's really good condition. I'll get out of your way. People say
Yeah.
to try and reduce the risk, but then they go, oh, there's one thing when you're inviting people on, and
You're
the other thing
encouraging
when
them.
they're breaking in, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well,
we've done the necessary things that need to be done. And
they had the opportunity, didn't they?
what's that to come?
Yeah, to come and have a look.
Well, the owners are satisfied with the reports that have gone back from the
Yeah.
experts. So, right then, this is the squash court.
Yeah.
Floors are rotting out.
Yeah, I think I've been in there once.
So just go on the doorway.
I think there was stairs in there once, and you could go upstairs, can't you? Viewing
yeah, the
point,
stairs
is
aren't
it?
there now, I don't think. But you can go and step on the top step and take photographs, but my advice is not going any further.
What, through here?
Yeah, so just go around there onto the steps. But it is, the floor is rotting out, so just be very, very careful to stay in the building.
Yeah.
And the walls on the inside of that building, asbestos. Can you believe it?
It's everywhere.
In a squash court.
Yeah.
With a ball against it.
I know. It's because I didn't know much about it.
The building, that's the medical centre, this building here. Still got its asbestos roof.
Yeah.
The Winged Serpent Club still has its asbestos roof. It was really the hospital buildings that they changed. So this was the medical centre, which is the equivalent to us going to our doctors and the dentist. So it's right close to the married quarters, so the families could use it.
Surprising how long the corridor actually is, and then I've looked from aerial view, it doesn't look that long, does it?
It's just from the surgical end to the corridor where you go down to get to the new maternity.
Yeah.
It's just over a quarter of a mile long.
Yeah, yeah.
But then if you add on the outside walkway as well, it makes it longer. So, did you want to go in the cinema?
Yeah, we'll have a look.
I'll tell you a funny story about this one.
Is this your carpet?
Well, I need a bigger piece here. It will do until I can get a bigger piece there. But the tiles are crumbling there.
Yeah.
The stage was at the bottom end. Where the black wooden beam is, at the top there, that's where the screen was, and they pulled down for the cinema. And so you get hackled. This is the military, right? So everybody, yay! And you'd not live it down for the next couple of weeks. So you either went before you came, or you crushed your legs, or you got hackled. Lenny Henry performed on the stage in here.
Yeah.
Lenny Henry?
Yeah, early 80s. He was invited. He'd just been on New Faces, very start of his career. He was just starting to be, because of New Faces, people were starting to know his name.
Yeah.
So the RAF would always invite new and up-and-coming acts, along for entertainment. So they invited Lenny Henry to come, and normally they would do it at the Winged Serpent Club, but because people were beginning to know his name, everybody wanted to come and see him. So he performed on the stage in this building, so they could fit more people in, so he could put, so they could all watch him. So very early 80s, he was performed on the stage right here.
Do you know who Lenny Henry is?
Not really.
You don't?
No.
You don't know
I've
who Lenny Henry
probably
is?
seen a picture of him, but
Or just drop down. You're alright dropping down a bit. I always go out this way, it's easier. Okay, through there. Yeah, all done.
well, was it offices?
Nope.
I'm
14 years.
I'm sure you said some on one of the videos on
14
YouTube.
years I needed
I
to
know.
wait before I found out. Have you done any of these yet?
No, I haven't.
So they've kept, well, look,
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Some of the people on the tours have been adding their names.
I've seen.
It's funny. So hazard a guess, come on.
Come on, Eddie. You haven't been
What?
chatting much today. What do you think this
What do you
must
think?
be?
What do you think went on in this area of the hospital?
Laboratory of some sort?
That's what I used to think for 14 years, but it isn't. The clue is behind the wall over there.
Behind what?
So
This
get
bit?
behind this part of the wall. Look and see what you can see.
Was that showers?
Well, it's not showers as such, but you're starting to get an idea. You're starting to see the right things. See the drainage?
Yeah.
Have you heard of the term autoclave?
No.
A what?
Autoclave. Autoclave. What's that noise?
What noise?
It's like a pop.
Oh, I think it's probably something that stood on the floor.
Oh, okay.
You know, like a bit of glass or something that goes like a bang on it.
The beautiful colours in the leaves.
Yeah.
Let's see whether they can get planning or whether they've got somebody who's interested in purchasing it. You know, it's
Did
just
you ever
one of
do,
those things.
a couple of years ago, read about them doing paintball at airsoft or something?
You know what stopped that?
What's up that?
Parish council.
Oh, right.
Because this company approached Leader about it. They were going to have 4 weekends a year. Right, because you'll end up in one of the manholes. So
It's very possible.
there's a good chance you can end up. So if you come in this way, we'll go through. You're going to get this one. Obviously, you've got the start of the wonderful corridor down there. The domes above that made the skylights here have obviously been taken because they would have been worked on.
Yeah.
We will go up there, but we're going to first explore this end.
Yeah.
That's what that corridor.
Yeah. That's the manhole I was worried
Yeah,
that if you'd come through there, you could have ended up
Yeah.
down
I
there.
don't think I saw that last time I came.
So I'm going to stand here in front so as you walk past.
Yeah. I'm allowed to go there, yeah?
Yeah, you can just be careful. I need you to tell me how many operating theatres are in this area.
4.
You reckon 4?
I'm just saying it. I'm sure it was 4 or
Step
something,
over
wasn't it?
carefully.
Oh no,
How
there
many
was.
do you reckon?
No, there's 1. No, I think there's 1 now.
How many operators? 3?
Okay, tell me what you see there. These are those cabinets you were going on about, wasn't it? These glass cabinets. You see glass cabinet? What do you see this side? There are 2, because that side. Hospital. Okay, so 1962 this was built, and it's got an old concrete ceiling. But something that is fun. Right, let me show you. I'll walk you through this. So you would have come through those doors if you were going to have surgery, right? You would be on a bed, probably, because windows risks bringing in infection, doesn't it? Air duct over there at the top. See the sprinklers?
Yeah.
Do you know what that little window bit thing is there?
Pass medicine through, maybe?
No, it's solid. There would be a light on the back.
Right,
there.
so X-ray.
X-ray.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the X-rays. Okay, air going out at the bottom through the vents, not allowing it back in. Central light system. Here there's evidence of where the sinks were. All the pipe work and everything out here. That's where the surgeon would have scrubbed up. This corner room with the window on the inside here, that was the nurse's station. And the room with the eye in it, obviously. So we're going to go right. That room is my most favourite room of the hospital. So what do you think when you
A fridge.
a fridge?
A big fridge. No.
No.
No, it's because I'm trying to think of the video when you asked it before. It's something to do with them you was pointing out.
Yes, but when Jay was here, I've learned more since then.
Okay. So, So it's a ward.
It's not a ward. Wards have windows. Wards have windows. They 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 have windo the giveaway, the clue are these pipelines hanging there. There's 4 of them. And then you've got 4 sockets. Yeah, I said to him, he says, do you mind? I said, I don't want my voice on it.
Yeah.
And he's put the video up with me talking
Yes.
about Hayden. Right then, there's 4 bays, no windows.
The mall.
It's not the mall, no. Look up here. Does that look like a 60s build?
No, not really.
No. What do you do for a living? You're not doing anything at the moment. What do you do? Or what
I'm a forklift driver really. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not familiar with building?
Not really, no.
Okay. This is not a 60s, this is the type that they started doing from the 80s. Okay, so that is 80s. If you start looking around, looking at all the more modern things, the way the ceiling is, this room looks pretty new, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, the Americans were here in the 80s, weren't they? They got here 83, 84 time. And why did they want the hospital? Why did they lease the hospital? For what purpose? What did I say? Too much information. For the wartime, for the Middle East, Desert Storm, all that. We discovered that the Americans built this room when they were here as a field operating theatre and ICU, because those pipelines are suction pipelines, and you use suction pipelines in theatres, ICU, and recovery. Now, when you look at so this is a field hospital, so it's a field operating theatre straight ICU. Here, there's tiles there. They would have 6 layers of drainage, so they would have all those row sinks, main sinks there, so you've got tiles of that, sinks there, scrubbing, 4 bays, 4 tanks, 4 but you know that they didn't, and again, controlled air down there. We know that they didn't really use it much because they only had those pipelines.
Yeah.
So if whoever stripped this place, if they had taken those pipelines, we wouldn't be able to have one,
No.
over the months, I've been these pieces together.
Yeah.
I'm also corresponding with an American that served here, and he
You
added
are.
the theatre bit because he says you're right about it being ICU,
Yeah.
and that the Americans built it. You know, we built it. He says, but it was also a theatre,
I said theatre.
surgical.
I said theatre, I think, didn't I? I said fridge.
You said
Then I think I
fridge.
said a ward, maybe.
Ward, you said.
Yeah.
You didn't say theatre.
Didn't say theatre.
But if you look here, walls speak. Remember, brick that side, breeze blocks the other side.
Yeah.
So this is where they joined it.
Yeah.
See? Great, eh?
It is.
And I did ask, I wonder, it's weird how that's opened up there.
Yeah.
But somebody said quite often they use wood between the two, and as that's got wet and damp, it's pulled the plaster off,
Right.
and it's revealed it. But I'm glad it's revealed it because it shows
Gives
it's
you
another.
gives you an answer, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it gives you an answer to things. So you can get your pictures of your long corridor here. I'll step out of the way.
So apart from this, then, what did you do for work then?
I've raised 5 children,
Right. Okay.
and my youngest is 11, so
Yeah.
he's just started secondary school, and I always said I'll go. And another one, and we got 4 in a row here.
Very nice.
So it's nice because it can be really hard. Actually, it's nice as well. It can be really hard to imagine what it was like without the windows, isn't it? So when we get further down here and we look out, you'll see some more of the windows out on the wall. We're actually going going past Ward 9 and Ward 7. But we're going to... Oh, come on, Ray, stop. You're being miserable now.
It makes it feel more spooky.
So we've got a cluster of 3 windows just there. Just there.
Oh, yeah.
So all the walls were painted white, really nice, not dirty white, perfect white. The window frames were metal, painted Air Force blue. The fascias were painted blue, as you can see here. Some more windows.
Yeah.
The plastic guttering would have been added when the Americans were here, when they redid the roofs, so it wouldn't have been plastic guttering originally. All blue tiled floor down here, but it improves as we go down the corridor, doesn't it? This is a separate build. This was 1962, whereas that bit from that junction was in the 50s. Well, up there it was 46. Down here, it was like, they built the maternity in 57, so the maternity's down there, so 1957. So you've got this junction. We've started going up the central corridor, so this is the central corridor. I'm now standing in the main corridor. So I can see it coming, I'm like, it's going to crash. The main corridor is where most of the walls are branching off of that corridor, okay. An old sign that's revealed itself as the plaster's come away.
Yeah.
That would have been there since the 50s, early 50s. Would have said dental department, antenatal and gynecological clinic and dispensary.
Big word.
Okay, the X-ray department is down at the very bottom. That surgery sign was painted by John Hamilton. He's the American I've been corresponding with. And he's the one that free-handedly painted that sign. The Americans put the stripes in the corridors. They weren't in the corridors until they came. So the British didn't do the stripe system. Americans like to do the letters and numbers with stencils.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't stencil that one, but maybe they didn't have big enough stencils. Shall we go to the top and work our way down? So we'll go to the top to the entrance and we'll work our way down. We will be covering the whole length of that central corridor. There's apple trees planted between each of the wards.
Right.
Apparently a commanding officer wanted that to be so it happened. And he asked that it be a different variety, so each tree. there's always 2 baths. So 2 bathrooms. So 1, 2, and then opposite the bathroom at the very end is the sister's office.
Yeah.
So the sister is the one that's in charge of the ward and over the nurses. And if you look in here, there's got the medicine cabinet still up.
Yeah.
So you open one, and this was locked because this is where she kept all the drugs and everything in here. It's cool, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's alright.
And the sister's office always has a little window in a row in one big open room, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's why they've called them a Nightingale Hospital. This is a Nightingale ward. It's your open dormitory style. 9 beds down one side, 9 beds down the other. Nurses station this end, dining table down the middle, and a day room at the end. She's at the day room, that's TV, comfy chairs. What's his name? What's his name? What's he in for? This is male surgical. And in the late 60s, they used these anti-static panels. Obviously, it's really safe. So you didn't have that big fine thing. And did you know that when you came out of surgery, your bed would first go here, right by the nurses' station. And as time went on, your bed would move up around the wall, and by the time you got around here, you knew you were going home.
Oh, that's cool.
So they just rotated you around. So the next person that came in from surgery, they'll get put here and moved home.
She's saying they have to knock it down, but it is getting a bit thingy, isn't it?
They don't need them anymore, that's why they sold it off, isn't it? This one's starting to die. I think the metal band that sits on the top has obviously come off, and it's starting to come through now. But this is a typical layout of a hospital, of a ward here.
You can smell the carpet, can't you?
Yeah. This one, I went to Clayton's and I said, what do you do with the carpets that you take up when you replace them with people? I said, because I'm looking for some old carpets. I don't need new ones. They're going to get waterlogged. And she says, oh. So she called over and she says, just go across the road and that's where we have our skip. And we've got some in at the moment.
So you went to the skip and got them then?
Well, he had somebody waiting to get me. So we just mailed it as much as I always mail medical. This was a couple of big rolls. This was the female medical. This one was ear, nose and throat, I think. A lot of people had the tonsils taken. And then when it narrows, I think that was an add-on.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've got the maternity ward behind there. So they added as time went on.
Yeah. Still little light fittings in places, isn't there?
I've recently seen a picture of somebody's post. So that photograph that I told you was taken here.
Yeah.
And you can see that door, and you can see the radiator that was on the wall to the right, and everything was intact and clean, and the walls were intact and clean. Okay, this ward 8 is the maternity ward.
Yeah.
So you've got nursery. Here's a bit of old sign here, Ward 10. Wow, this is coming off more, you can see it's fresh.
It's going to happen now, won't it?
Ward 10 they split in half. So there's a divide, a wooden divide that they put down the middle, and then you're looking into the other side of it was Ward 12, which was orthopaedics above. And then right through to the very end is Ward 14, that was psychiatric.
Yeah. Are we off down there then?
You can have a look if you want. And then off this side is my
Go and have a
Have a look round here.
You've not got no tours tonight then?
No,
No.
not this evening. I decided to do 2 during the day.
Yeah.
And then and this side was the children's ward, and the other side was ward 12, which was orthopaedic. And then all the way through is ward 14, because there is another corridor that runs parallel to that corridor just up there. That room there is the physiotherapy. That's where they had physiotherapy. Bit of a mess, eh? So it's a bit less daunting. They didn't really have a lot of children here at any one time. A lot of children had their tonsils taken out here. But given the length of time that they were... Originally they didn't have a children's ward. It was one that they added at a later date. I guess they didn't need one initially because it's working all the time. And the toilets were a little bit lower for the children.
Yeah. Someone's been having cans of beer in here, haven't they?
Oh,
There is actually, isn't there a music video or something here as well? Have you seen the music video?
yeah.
Yeah.
But some of them are really just fully intact, aren't they? You can see how much lower it is. The maintenance side of the thing, so really isn't anything there. Dead end. And I thought,
disappointing, isn't it?
I know, I came down here and like, why is there a dead end? I had somebody who worked here and she worked in the X-ray department. She said this used to be the entrance to the X-ray department. So I don't know why they blocked it off. But they blocked off the entrance to the X-ray department and moved the entrance down this way. So that's why that's the dead end.
That's a light fitting, isn't it?
Yep. There's one in place there. So that was the entrance, but now it's up there. This is Ward 11. This is what I call the screening ward. And we've got quite a screening ward. This is the labour ward, the delivery. You notice there's not as many rooms up here. It's a bit of a different layout. Because this was added in 1957.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you've done it.
done it.
Yeah.
Right then. So, stay on the carpet. Walk on the carpet where there is one, because it's all crumbling.
Yeah.
I do need to get a bit more. So, this was the delivery room. They had one bed in here. The head of the bed was that way, coming this way. So many babies were born in here. They just had the one delivery.
I did this when you go down the manhole.
Yeah, you've done it.
Have
Done
you got
it.
your-
Yeah.
Right then. So, stay on the carpet.
Yeah, I don't think I've been in this bit. Yeah.
So this is always, at the beginning when I started doing the tours, I had no clue what this was. And I had so many people saying, what was this? What was this? They'd come down here, what was this? Until I had a nurse that worked here in the 60s. And I said to her, do you know what this was used for? She goes, no, but I can find out because I know somebody who knows everything about the hospital. So she showed him a photo of it and she messaged me and she said, that, my dear, is where the foreign ladies gave birth. They gave birth different to us British. They squatted. This is a squatting. Did you know that? And ever since then, that's when doctors insisted that women lay on their bed to give birth.
You've seen this bit before? No, I haven't.
Yeah, so this is a birthing place for the foreign ladies. So I guess India, Philippines, they all squat.
There's a new, it's like a size.
Yeah, there's them funny toilets.
It was what school, Indian school for a while after. So there's a lot of toilets that were just holes in the ground.
They're like that in Turkey as well. When you go to Turkey, all the public toilets are squatting toilets. So I think for its time period to have something like that, I think is very forward thinking, isn't it? Getting ready to come up, isn't it? Right then, this was the X-ray department. They had a dark room, so that end room back there is a dark room. They had no windows. Obviously, when the doors were closed and the roof was on. Don't like to put it all the way down in case it doesn't go back up again. But it's a black outline.
Yeah.
So the changing rooms for here, we go down the corridor and come in these two rooms. They've got a door that you can lock at one end, and at this end they have curtains. And then you get checked, wait there until they call you through. And then you have your X-ray, then you go back. And this is the radiologist room. So they have locks because the original opening of that wasn't there. So you could lock the door and not have to worry about anybody coming in.
You need to get your torch on, Aid. Your other one. You got it with you? A torch. A really bright.
Actually, now that the clocks have changed, it's going to be getting dark at the end of the So in December, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
because it gets dark down there.
When's your last tour for this year then?
Probably the 19th of December.
Yeah.
I'm going to give myself a couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks off from doing tours. Still check the site.
Are you still finding it interesting?
It's this hour messaging up.
Yeah.
I know it's an extra hour, but just messaging up. So, not a huge X-ray department, but they had everything here they needed. Have you got your photos?
Yeah.
Owls coming here, that's owl cabins.
Right. Why did you eat in your books? The what? The tanks? Oh yeah.
Out here.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, we have seen
You've
that.
seen those?
Yeah.
On Google Earth, you can see them from the top. And then you've got that's all the boiler houses.
I've been on top of that tower, is it that one there?
Would it,
Remember when? Yeah, when I went up it.
would it have been this one?
Yeah, that is
That
it.
one,
Yeah, it's a bit wobbly up
It
there.
is.
Have you been up there?
Sean's been up
Yeah.
because we came on this. Because obviously if anybody hurt themselves up there,
Yeah.
we'll be liable now.
I know.
So we cut as soon as we owned it, we cut the ladder. Unfortunately. It's made it more difficult for us, but I'd rather that than be sued. We have public liability insurance, we have to. You have to when you own something like that, but
Yeah.
I'm not risking it. Insurances won't pay out if you haven't done everything you can to stop people. So remember, the stripes were put on by the Americans.
Yeah.
Just a nightmare because the owners have had to pay for this. I mean, it's cost them, 500 quid just to have a quick structural a structural engineer here just to tell us that the buildings are sound, that we already knew are sound.
Yeah, well, you've got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah. And the asbestos, just for them to, that's 1,000 quid there. That's £1.5 grand.
In all fairness, if you're going to put people on a tour, the public, I think you need to do it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
And, that's fine. And the owners have no problem with
Yeah.
that.
It's just about being responsible.
And that's why we've done it.
Yeah.
And like I said, okay, this was the matron's office
Yeah.
and the deputy matron's office, right? That's a collapsed porchway there, so that's got asbestos all across. You don't go down there. This is that corridor running parallel to the corridor where the maternity delivery was.
Yeah.
So you've got Ward 12, Ward 14 opposite, and then it's the physiotherapy at the bottom left. And opposite that they had a little hospital shop there.
Yeah.
So they brought stuff over from the NAFI so that patients could buy. It's the new non-slip that they put in late 60s, early 70s.
My battery's running, isn't it?
But it does get a slip
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
What about your phone batteries?
No, this.
Oh, okay.
Don't matter.
This partition wall was put up by the Americans after 1990, because that American, he said it was still wide when he was here, but it was the Americans that put it up.
Yeah.
So for some reason, the last couple of years they were here, they partitioned this
Yeah.
and narrowed it. I think possibly for storage.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a door here that says archives,
Oh, yeah.
so we think maybe storage. This is the back end of Ward 14, so the toilets and the bathrooms for Ward 14,
Yeah.
which was a psychiatric ward. And then when we get to here, can you see there's a change? Look at
Yeah.
the wall, look at that, look above. This used to be an outside wall,
Right.
but they knocked it through. There was a door leading to an outside walkway. So you know all the outside open-sided walkways? That's what this used to look like until 1970. And in 1970, they breeze blocked it and plasterboarded it up and closed it up, and it became part of the corridor. So for the rest of the corridor from this point until it gets to the very end, it used to always be an outside corridor. corridor until
Right.
1970.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, is it over there? You say?
Yeah.
Where, yeah.
Yeah, all down there you've got a long stretch where it's
Yeah.
got the concrete with the asbestos
Yeah,
roof
yeah,
with the
yeah.
concrete posts
Yeah.
and the concrete beams going across the top. So this is when it's leaking a bit there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they internalised it. 2 yellow beams. It says dental on that yellow beam. So the dental centre was through those doors. That's how you got to it. But if you look on this side, the British writing is underneath on the side that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
It says dental centre under there.
Yeah.
So the Americans painted it and then put their own stencil in there. Freestanding building there, it's not attached. So this is the dental centre. So it's not attached to anything. The way through is through that door. I've never been. Walkway. So when they closed in the walkways in 1970, I would imagine it was then that they joined the two walkways together.
Yeah.
And it became one open, one closed up corridor. Because they put the
Yeah, they put the flooring down.
put the
haven't they?
flooring down. But the people that broke onto the site and stripped it, they bulldozed through it.
I just remembered the first time, I think it was your husband. You got 2 daughters.
Yep.
There would have been about 2013, 14, something like that.
Yeah, it would have been Ruth and Emily that was going with them then.
And I don't know, a dog for Alsatian
Yeah.
or something.
No, a brown.
Was it?
She's a brown cross Labrador Dalmatian cross.
Because we saw us in here somewhere. I just popped in there.
Yeah. Was he nice to you?
He was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is nice to her.
Yeah.
You know?
It's me that gets like.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah. Innocent.
It's me that gets a bit kind of annoyed.
Mm.
I calm down. The thing is, my adrenaline's going when I see somebody.
Yeah.
And when my adrenaline's going, I find it really hard to speak. You see where they dug up the road?
Yeah.
Looking for stuff up the road. So we have to go through the generator room, because that's the mortuary.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because one of the Nissan lots has got like children's pictures on it.
Go through that area. Look at the shape of the leaves at the end. And what happens as it goes through the car.
Cool, isn't it?
Become heart shape. Look at that heart shape as we go through the heart. Watch out for the pits, please. Don't go in that room.
And no recording in.
We're just going through. This is the generator room. They decommissioned the generator in 1993. The Americans there. Now,
There used to be a generator, something.
yes, there was a generator. There used to be a generator in here.
1983, did you say?
Well, 1983 they
83.
decommissioned it. You're thinking of the boiler. The boiler in the boiler room. That's the boiler that's there. Because we've not gone to the when the American standalone building, that's the room that's opposite. This one is the room that's opposite physiotherapy. That one is Ward 14 psychiatric.
Right.
Walking past into
Yeah, I know what you mean. With a broken sideboard wall.
opposite that
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
These are maintenance buildings, so the electricians and plumbers and things like that, there were civilians that worked on here. My dad worked here in 1976. My dad worked for the MOD for 40 years as a civilian. He was an electrician. And he was assigned over here in 1976, so we worked here. And I've been told that the civilian electricians and maintenance people, that's where their offices are on that stretch. That was kind of the section. It's just hall, you have an observation window.
Yeah.
So that's an observation window that had glass. There would have been a curtain that was kept closed until they opened it for you to observe. And I'll talk about that in a minute.
Right.
Where's it gone? Is it coming
Oh,
in?
it's just fanning about.
So this room here where the fire must have started, where the damage is.
Yeah.
Look,
You're going
this
to put
was
your
the
torch
chapel.
on, Aid? Go and put your torch on.
So this was the chapel.
That's it.
Right around the corner. That's the main way into the mortuary. This is the PM's post-mortem room.
The thing with it's all run out now. It's dead.
He's going to charge the batteries up.
Yeah, I did, but I need to get a new one. Not on me, I haven't, no.
The photographers that come on the tour have bags of batteries.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I'd like to get some more.
Have the one table, but we do have some pieces that helps us put the puzzle together. Okay, so you've got a leg over there.
Yeah, you got the whole.
And a leg over here. You've got a hole here, and you've got this oval. You see how that's oval shaped at the bottom, and that's oval shaped. So you've got one leg would have gone here, and right where you're standing, see just there, another one there. So we believe this is where the table went. You've got some metal pipes, water pipes here, bit of a drainage thing there. So this is where the table went. You've got a drainage gully down the back wall here. I don't know why the windows were wooden in this building, but they were. So wooden windows, obscure glass in the windows, and they've got fly screens. So they could open a window but have the fly screen shut so that the air can come in, but the flies won't come in. Because it can get rather smelly when you're cutting people up, can't it?
Well, I don't know, I've never done it, to be fair.
We've rolling away. Get sliding across the tiled floor.
I suppose we did come in this bit.
It's tucked away, you see.
Yeah.
Or it's probably because we cut through the brambles, that way we couldn't get through there.
Fair enough.
Now here we have another room. We have another room here, and if you look at these doorways, they're two different heights, look.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the base of the refrigeration unit that they store the bodies in. And this is to do with it as well.
So there've been bodies on that.
Yep. You see the gap? The grooves in there? That's the right width for a body that's on a tray that you slide in.
Spooky.
So, probably would have been nearly as tall as this doorway, hence why it's a different height to the other side. So the fridge was here. The door to the fridge obviously was here. If somebody came to have a look and wanted to see,
Put your light. You're using your
just
toe.
be careful as you're walking down.
Yeah, over there.
Because this first bit that you get the water gets in.
Are you going to talk to you?
No, I haven't.
Got mine.
I thought the host would have had one for me.
I thought the house was.
I've got spare ones in my bag.
Yeah.
You don't need a torch.
You do, a little bit.
Okay, see that?
Yeah.
It used to say laboratory, and now it says lab because the Americans did that. That's because this is where the pathology labs were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the ceiling, the roof's gone now. This is the end that they started stripping the roof. So this is the end of the medical stores, and there's a walkway there that took you to the dispensary. So the where they'll get the prescriptions.
Yeah.
The Americans call it pharmacy,
Right.
but we call it dispensary. And the reason why this is here is because that's all asbestos down there. So it's a collapse wall.
Yeah.
And if you look out this door, you'll see what I mean about the roofs on the building.
Yeah, I've noticed that before.
Yeah, and that was from people trying to take the roof panel.
Yeah, I did
We did get a prosecution. The police caught two lads trying to take some roof panels. So they got a 12-month suspended sentence and they got a criminal record. The police released the roof panels back to us and we took them to the scrapyard for the owners.
Right.
And £72.
Yeah, that's not much, is it?
It's not worth it, is it?
No, not really.
Not worth it at all. And the worst thing was, one of the lads had borrowed his dad's car. So when the police caught him, he said, I'm going to be in real trouble with my dad.
So it's got done twice?
Yes, it got done twice. Just going to walk through this door.
I'll let him bob down
Bob
then.
down.
Right.
It's the door. Now, a lot of people think these are the wards as well. So when you've been on the site, did you think that was a ward?
Possibly, yeah.
Because it looks like one, doesn't it? It looks
Yeah.
like a Nightingale ward. This is actually where the School of Nursing was.